Fall of Diee, the perceptual loss of light and innocence. The essence of Diee is unnameable, substanceless, never-ending in its evolution of what it means to exist. Diee is the primal self of all within the vibrational realms of time and space. Diee is the dream essence in which all within duality of the perceived and unperceived universe flows and unfolds. Diee is endless in its nature, and through it all within relativity emerges and is given life. That life is the experience of the ineffable consciousness and intelligence that vibrates throughout the dream fabric of the vibrations of the Aum, Aum, and Amen light, comprising the denser unified realms of minerals and that which vibrates beyond the denser realms. The Amen essence is one whole, and that vibrational whole is an expression of the vibrationless, unnameable essence of Diee, the primal self we are beyond time and space. Because the essence of your primal self of Diee is shared by all within the vibrational substance of the Amen is infinite and non-quantifiable, it is able to ceaselessly evolve as all that flows within its physical body of the Amen into infinite manifestations for worlds without end. Because the primal deathless self of Diee is ineffable, it has no boundaries or parameters in the scope of its becomings as it experiences within its vibrational body of the universe of time and space. Throughout the scope of time and space, the vibrational light unfolded from the primal self of Diee began to evolve in a differentiation within itself, as the vibrational light of the Amen began to act for itself within its own essence. Where there was one light evolved into an awareness of that which acts and that which is acted upon. This differentiation is not one of substance, for both are composed of the same. The differentiation was an awareness of one becoming self-aware within its own self, and the realization of illusory duality began to be experienced. Because the one that acts and the one that is acted upon are inseparably one beyond the illusion of duality and relativity, both can interact as both the creator and the created, in one unified essence. All souls are aspects of the one that can act for themselves, giving the one the awareness of being the creator of that which surrounds it. All souls act for themselves and perceive themselves as individuals within the one Diee from which the vibrational essence of the Amen continuously unfolds. The primal soul within the Amen of Diee procreated from the same essence of which it became self-aware. All souls within the perceived duality of relativity, time, space, and the universe that is both perceived and not perceived by one who is embodied within the realm of Malkuth. In the relative terms of time and space, from the perspective of the one who acts within Malkuth, the primal soul of the Amen became aware of itself within the self of Diee approximately 323 billion years ago. And at that moment of self-realization within the primal self of Diee, all was unified in the scope of its manifestations. As souls were procreated throughout the eons of the past, they exercised their awareness to act for themselves amidst the unified light of the Amen body of Diee, to organize and create with the same light they were comprised of, with its essence of what they perceived to surround them in the state of duality. The souls that could act for themselves rejoice in the experience of self-awareness within the primal self of Diee that we all share, and express their joy of existence by creating within the light, organizing the same essence of that which they were to gain the experience and self-realization of joy in what it means to exist. They acted upon the light around them to organize denser bodies of that same light essence into what is perceived to be the universe that surrounds us as souls, planets, suns, galaxies, and that which exists within the Amen self beyond the senses of one who is encased within the mineral body of Malkuth. What is termed by the embodied souls within Malkuth to be minerals is actually the densest of that which is created by the souls who remained in the freedom of the light that surrounded them. A soul embodied within the minerals of creation perceives only that which vibrates in the same as that which it is embodied. The subtler realms of light that extend outward from every planet and beyond their spectrum of mineral body awareness. Yet the light of everything within creation of Malkuth extends outward in less dense realms that many here describe as the higher astral planes. These planes extend outward ever more subtly until they are one with the highest astral realm of light, where the progenitors of the souls of every animal and human first emerged from the Amen light. Approximately 63 million years ago, souls that have been procreated and conceived within the freedom of the light desired to experience temporary embodiments in the denser realms of the creations that had been organized by them. Because all is composed of the one light of the Amen, they could shift their awareness into the denser realms of their creations, but not embody themselves within those realms without experiencing suffering and pain. They could, however, organize the subtle astral light of the realm in which they resided to express embodiments of the pure light they were, The human expression evolved within Malkuth as a mirror image of their expression in more subtle realms of the Amen light. Of the hundreds of billions of souls that created or resided in the light, 73 of these souls, composed of 4 groups, began to use their procreative ability to create other self-aware souls in a manner that had never been done within the freedom and the joy of the realm in which souls became first self-aware. These 73 souls procreated offspring, with the sole purpose of embodying their children into the denser realms that they did not desire to experience firsthand, but which they desired to have the experience of. These 73 souls procreated offspring, other souls within the Amen light, and in the ignorance, innocence, and in the infancy of being now one who acts, these 73 souls guided their offspring into bodies of denser light, where they would temporarily experience the lower realms of darkness and suffering, then experience death of their embodiment, and be drawn back into the essence of these 73 oversouls, so that these oversouls could have the experiences of the lower realms of their creations without having to actually experience these realms firsthand. Instead of souls being procreated within the duality of Dee, in the freedom and the light, these 73 souls procreated offspring out of the Amen essence that had created them, did to those souls that which they would not have done to themselves, used them as pawns to probe the darkness, then ended their soul lives by drawing their offspring back into themselves when their journey into the depths of the lower realms were over, as their mineral bodies died. Death was introduced for the first time in the Deathless Dee's awareness of what it means to experience the joy of existence, so that the offspring of the 73 souls would not forever reside in the lower realms, but experience their bodies as dying through old age, sickness, and suffering. This would free the souls encased within the lower realms from their bodily confinement, and in their continued ignorance and innocence they would see the light above that was withheld from them, usually in the form of a tunnel, feel the joy and the love they had never experienced while being encased within the darkness, and in their hunger for that which they would never know, they would again return to the light of these 73 oversouls and die by giving their experiences to them. This is the purpose of reincarnation. Oversouls who never leave the light experience the darkness of embodying their offspring into denser realms of pain and suffering, then taking those offspring back into their own essence and claim those experiences as their own. Oversouls with the corpse memories of millions of their children who had been embodied into realms of darkness, an embodiment these oversouls would never have wanted for themselves, just to satisfy a sense of curiosity, filled with memories of second-hand experiences, none of which were their own. Yet these 73 oversouls would never desire to end their own eternal existence of life within the Amen essence of Dee, from which we are beyond time and space. They would forever live, but their children would die, first physically, then spiritually, by returning to oneness with the oversouls never experiencing the joy of what it means to be one who acts for itself in the freedom and joy of the light. The hundreds of billions of souls who were created from the first soul within the Amen vibration of light, including the 73 who participated in the practice of embodying their offspring into the denser realms of pain, darkness, and suffering, are genderless in nature. Gender and sexual procreation are experienced only among the embodied soul offsprings within the denser realms and within Malkuth. The suffering, pain, and lack of fullness of joy experienced within the embodied souls of the lower astral planes in the most densest Malkuth also brought back to the 73 oversouls a sense of loss of innocence that souls who solely reside within the pure light of which they were first self-aware never had experienced. Sorrow, pain, suffering, and the lack of fullness of joy create a feeling of losing one's innocence. These oversouls also began to lose the feelings of innocence they had once had, as the first-hand experiences of their offspring became their own second-hand experiences. There was also a feeling of the loss of innocence because many of the hundreds of billions of the other souls who never participated in this abuse of their procreative powers, abuse in that the essence of the souls embodied within the lower realms of pain and suffering are made of the same eternal primal Dee, of which all within the Amen shares their primal self beyond time and space, had expressed to the 73 a disapproval of their practice.